It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as WWE are heading back to Saudi Arabia, AEW donates $100,000 to charity, and has CM Punk's first AEW match been revealed. All that and more coming up in today's video, but first... One of WWE's most recent gimmick changes saw Nikki Cross become Nikki ASH, turning into almost a superhero. This change saw her go on to win the Money in the Bank briefcase before successfully cashing in on Charlotte Flair to win the Raw Women's title last week on Raw. We now have a report from Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer, who has said that the babyface received boos during a recent house show, suggesting the gimmick isn't working for everyone. Meltzer said, "Both nights, worse in Pittsburgh than Louisville, but it was there both nights that Nikki Cross's superhero gimmick, it's not working for the house show crowd. They don't take her seriously. She was actually booed in Pittsburgh, not heavily booed, but booed. Louisville, I didn't hear her being booed, but I heard she came out and got a nice reaction, and then once the match started, the people didn't want to see her. They just see, and no surprise, they see Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair as big stars, and Nikki as an intruder in the match. Also, since she's the champion, she ends up winning, she has to win. That was the one notable thing from everyone I heard from both nights, was the Nikki Cross thing was not working. You wouldn't know that from TV." Despite this minor setback, Vince McMahon is said to be high on the character, as shown by the fact that he put the title on Nikki so early on. She is said to have pitched the idea of her new superhero character to WWE higher-ups herself before getting it approved. New Japan Pro-Wrestling have today announced 3 title matches for next month's Wrestle Grand Slam event live from the MetLife Dome in Saitama, Japan. The 2-night event will see the IWGP Tag Team Champions Dangerous Tekkers defend their titles against Tetsuya Naito and Sanada, as well as Yoshihashi and Hiroku Goto in a 3-way tag team match. The returning Hiromu Takahashi will take on the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Robbie Eagles for his newly won belt. And finally, the show will be headlined by IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Shingo Takagi defending his title against Bullet Club's Evil. Shingo is coming off the back of a title defense at the most recent Wrestle Grand Slam event, which saw him retain against Hiroshi Tanahashi, who replaced Kota Ibushi after his aspiration pneumonia diagnosis. As we reported earlier today, Jeff Hardy has tested positive for COVID-19, which led to him being pulled from a meet and greet in Kansas City, as well as 2 weeks of WWE television. It seemed the meet and greet wasn't the only thing affected, as it's now been revealed by PW Insider that Hardy was set for a rematch against NXT champion Karrion Kross on tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw, which of course can no longer happen. Last week on the show, WWE were met with heavy criticism after Kross was swiftly pinned by Jeff with a roll-up, making NXT's top champion look weak in the process. It can be assumed that Kross was set to get his win back tonight, as is typical with WWE's 50-50 booking policy. It's unknown if the match will be saved for a later date, or if there is new plans for Karrion Kross on the show. Adam Scherr, who is the former Braun Strowman, took to Instagram this week to reveal that a photo that he posted in November has been removed for violence and incitement, with the image in question being Strowman delivering a big boot to Keith Lee in a recent match. Braun, who was released from WWE in June, posted the following message. "Instagram is a joke with the censor of stuff. I can't even have a pic of my former job that I posted in November, #GetAGrip. Clearly this Instagram admin thinks wrestling is a shoot, brother." In other Braun Strowman news, he was spotted last week at a bare-knuckle boxing event hosted by the BKFC promotion, who posted a photo teasing Braun as their next signee. Strowman is still serving his 90-day non-compete clause, which ends on August 31st, and his status has been a little cloudy recently, with alleged new merch being posted to his WWE shop page. In regards to that, it's worth noting that almost every Braun Strowman item is currently on sale, which suggests that the rumor he has re-signed were false. It's been reported that both AEW and WWE are interested in his services, but it seems he may have other options outside of pro wrestling. WWE have announced a new partnership with Blumhouse Television in order to produce a brand new television series. The show, titled The United States of America vs. Vince McMahon, will be a scripted series that focuses on the WWF steroid trial of the early 90s, which nearly put McMahon in jail. He was accused of distributing steroids amongst his roster, with WWF top star Hulk Hogan even testifying against his former employer. This will no doubt be a WWE spin on events, with them releasing a statement which read, "In 1994, the US government indicted McMahon for allegedly supplying anabolic steroids to WWE talent. McMahon, with his liberty at stake, 2 school-aged children at home, and with WWE on the brink of bankruptcy, refused to take a plea deal. Ultimately, McMahon stood trial and was acquitted unanimously by a jury of his peers, and went on to build a multi-billion-dollar global sports entertainment empire." And you can see why I said this will be a WWE spin of things. Funnily enough though, this isn't the only upcoming TV show that will follow the events of the steroid trial, with Dark Side of the Ring set to air an episode dedicated to the story. This will feature an interview with McMahon's longtime lawyer, Jerry McDivitt. And quickly, just before we continue, make sure you scroll down and drop a like and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss any upcoming wrestling content as we head towards 20,000 subscribers. But now that you've done that, let's get on with the rest of the video. Next up, we have a report from Andrew Zarian of the Japan Pro-Wrestling podcast, who revealed that WWE is set to return to Saudi Arabia this year. The often reliable journalist took to Twitter to reveal, "Hearing from source, WWE will be returning to Saudi Arabia in October, if there are no restrictions at the time. Heard October 2021, but have not double confirmed." Since the pandemic began, WWE have halted their Saudi shows, with their last event in the Kingdom being February 2020, where they presented the Super Showdown in Riyadh, headlined by The Fiend Bray Wyatt vs Goldberg for the Universal title. As of now, there is no news on any planned matches for the October show. With the Fight for the Fallen special of AEW Dynamite just 2 days away, AEW have announced that they are donating $100,000 to the Safe Alliance non-profit organization in Charlotte, North Carolina. They have also announced that a percent of the sales from the new Fight for the Fallen t-shirt will also be donated, with the shirts being on sale at the event in the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte. AEW President Tony Khan released a statement regarding the donations and said, "Giving back to the community and helping make a difference in people's lives is an ongoing goal for AEW, especially with our annual Fight for the Fallen event. We're proud to share this donation with Safe Alliance, and through this initiative, we hope we can come together with fans to further Safe Alliance's important mission." Safe Alliance is based in Charlotte, where the show is being hosted, and provides support for those impacted by domestic violence and sexual assault. Donations can also be made at aewfightforthefallen.com if you fancy showing your support. With AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and the All Out pay-per-view set to be held from Chicago in September, AEW President Tony Khan and EVPs Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and the Young Bucks flew to the Windy City on Sunday. This is according to Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net, who added that the AEW higher-ups traveled in Khan's private jet in order to eye up the United Center, which is the home of the Chicago Bulls NBA team and the Chicago Blackhawks NHL team. The report states that Khan and co traveled to the arena to film promos for an upcoming show. AEW are said to be hoping to establish this upcoming show as an annual tradition. And for those that have been following the recent news videos, I think you know where I'm going with this, as this could be linked to a recent trademark application from AEW with the term The First Dance, which is seemingly a play on the recent Michael Jordan documentary The Last Dance, being filed recently. Khan is set to reveal a brand new event this Wednesday on Dynamite, and as we speculated, this is likely a Chicago-based event named The First Dance, and let's find out why I think CM Punk will be in attendance. The man himself added fuel to the fire of the rumors after posting a song to his Instagram this week, which is titled Sirius by the Alan Parsons Project, and is a song associated with the 90s Chicago Bulls team, which is the era of the Bulls that The Last Dance documentary is based around. The name The First Dance, if this is the Chicago event, event, which, let's be honest, it is, seems to suggest that this event will see CM Punk's first dance in AEW, and I'd honestly put money on this being the case. It's very possible that we will see this event announced this Wednesday on the Fight for the Fallen special of Dynamite, and maybe, just maybe, we'll hear the announcement of CM Punk himself. Even if we don't get the official Punk announcement, the arena is bound to be filled with chants for the straight edge superstar. And before you go, make sure you check out my 10 cancelled AEW plans video where I discuss CM Punk's history with AEW.